Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so my presentation is on the idea if the education system is fulfilling its purpose. I liked what Philip Wow, assistant cognitive science professor at UC San Diego, said. The main purpose of education is to strengthen your mind so that you can more easily learn to deal with specific challenges you will face throughout your life. When the education system in America was established, it was to create citizens. We learn to think logically, think critically, so that way we can do things for our country. Like John F. Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So that's why we have the education system here in America, to create people that can think for themselves. So when it comes to the question, are students leaving high school feeling educated? I think as high school students, we can answer that for ourselves. No. Well, let me explain. To say that we don't learn in school is unfair, because we learn for things like ACT, SAT, and all the other different tests that we go through in order to get a good grade to move on to higher education. And to say that I left high school and I didn't learn a single thing is unfair to the educators that spend hours of their life dedicated to teaching us something. So do we leave school educated? Yes. But do we leave school educated enough? No. And that's a two-sided sword, because students do not leave school educated because they are conditioned to mindlessly do work. After 13 years of school, they know that the easy way to get the result that they need is to go through the motions. We all know that. Since elementary school, we were taught, if I give you an assignment, you do what I told you, you turn it in, you get a good grade. Is that what you do in the real life? Maybe if you get like a sit-down job and they give you a paper and you just need to fill it out, then maybe. But what about if you need to think critically about something that's happening with your kid or something that's happening in your job? You don't exactly get an ABCD answer for those type of problems in life. And the education system that we have in place right now makes it so easy for students to cheat their way on top. And if you give someone an inch, they'll take a mile. So if you teach a student that all you need to do is this, this, and this, and you'll be in the top 10, even if it's not exactly learning, well, then they'll take it. Students want to reap the reward of being called a good student without actually being a good student. And so now the question is, how do we get students to leave high school feeling educated? And that is to redirect the way hardworking students are rewarded. If we keep telling them that if you keep doing what you're doing and you're gonna get all the scholarships because you're in the top 10 or top 25, if you keep doing what you're doing, if you keep cheating, if you keep doing everything that students are doing today and they're still reaping the same rewards, well, then you're not changing anything. So the best way to get our students to leave educated is to change the way they're rewarded. And so by forcing students to involuntarily be attributed to an arbitrary number like rank or GPA, we are reinforcing the idea that students are only as smart as their rank or GPA. I'm not going to get too much into this idea because if most of you, if not all of you, have already seen my thread, so let's just get to that idea. But the dehumanization of students leads them to disassociate with their education. By that I mean, oh, I have this assignment and I didn't really learn it in class, so let me just look at it on Quizlet, or let me just find it online, instead of actually doing the work, instead of asking the teacher questions. So they are separating the student and their worth from their grade. And that their education is something to be won instead of something that you grow with. Your education is already yours. It's up to you to make something out of it. But something as arbitrary as rank and GPA make it seem like it's something that you only get if you cheat yourself out of your education. And if we take away the competition aspect of school and focus on the value of your time at school, students would be better prepared for their life after high school. So, is the education system fulfilling its purpose? Yes and no. It is unfair to say that the education system is not doing anything right when we have students that leave high school and do tremendous things. So yes, it is doing its job, but because of the competitive aspect that we add to it, it takes away from what we can do and what our self-esteem doesn't let us to do. So I truly believe that we are learning and receiving the education necessary for life after high school, but the school system under which we are forced to comply to allows students to cheat themselves out of an education that could be beneficial for everyone. And by everyone, I don't mean everyone here at Westaco East. I mean everyone in the world. Imagine if we had the next doctor in this class that could cure cancer, you know, that big one, that someone that could cure cancer, but they cheated themselves out of their biology class and never exactly learned how to grow stem cells in the body. So that's my presentation, and this is my works cited.